So, we are live online communication Tuesday. Online communication Tuesday. Right now, okay, let's tag or let's share in the, let's tag first. Teacher Andy, teacher team, Coach Naluta, Super P-Pad, Bill, teacher. So, online communication Tuesday. We are going live now. Online communication Tuesday. We are going to have a teacher from USA going to share his idea. So, if you want to take part of this show, please share it on your timeline. On your timeline. We are now on the 21st century. So, teacher Andy is already here, and we are going to share this live stream in the different clubs that allow this of sharing. Why sharing in the clubs? Teacher Andy, you are welcome.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. That it seems you are driving.
I'm parked, so I'm being safe.
Yeah, yes, that's wonderful. And as you know, many people are waiting to this live stream. And again, we are going to share it in different clubs. Why?
Yeah.
Because this is an idea that you, an open mind teacher from America, want to do something unique in the world. And me, as teacher, as a Risa, I'm not a teacher. Zero education I have. Zero technology. What I have is just a feature. It's just believing on my future. So that is why, teacher Andy, I am standing up with you, with your vision. That is why I believe on what you are going to share right now. That is why I am sharing it in different clubs, because that's a gift that I get, and I would like to share it with others. Many people, they don't understand that. It's up to you, to them. So go share your vision with other teachers.
Well, what's interesting is that we've talked about interacting with teachers and students, but there are probably many people just like you that don't go to school, don't go to college, and still want to learn and still want to interact. And I think that this idea that we have, or that I'm trying to build, is it would work for anybody that would like to interact. But the idea is, right now, what I'm trying to do is, I know that you mentioned some teachers from some different countries, which is awesome. Those teachers, once again, need to send me a message and tell me what what their interest is, what grade, what age group, the students that they have. I'm looking for teachers with students about 14 to 16 years old, and teachers as well. And my idea is that what I want to do is find some literature, whether it be, short stories or poetry or like a book, something like that that is connected to that particular country. So if, my example has been, a lot like the Kite Runner or I Am Malala. Those are specific to countries that I know that there are teachers that are involved with this, and so I'm really trying to get some of those teachers to hear this and say, yeah, I would be okay. I would like to talk about that, because what I'm really looking for is trying to get students from other countries to start interacting and giving information about their country, their culture. Maybe the authors of the book give some information about that, and be able to give that information, and then have the students from America, my students, respond, whether it be a live or a recorded video, and talk and interact with these other students so that they can help them, learning and build these relationships that I think that as it goes and they start talking and interacting, they might start actually wanting to interact a little bit more, and maybe set up times, outside of school to talk and interact with these students and create those contacts and those friendships. Because right now I'm teaching a world literature class, and we've been talking about the idea of culture and cultural identity, and the things that I think that people don't quite know about other countries and other cultures. They're given information from sources that not always are correct, and so the idea is to try to get that interaction so that students can learn from each other, and maybe learn a little bit about each other and about their country and their culture and their ideas, and be able to see that this is, it's not always what you're told through media and things like that, but they can learn to interact. I wanted to do, I was at first I was thinking like 4 or 5 books, have some options, but it seems like I might have to do it a little bit smaller in the beginning. I know that you said that you know someone from Algeria that's very interested. Uh,
Yes.
if that person can get in touch with me, or if you can talk to that person, or if they're watching this, at any point they watch this, if they have any suggestions of literature that is coming from their country that might deal with like culture, or show something from that country that is something that is read in the States, or if it's something that we can look at and see if it's something that we can use that's translated, that would be awesome, because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to find a couple countries, a couple teachers that really want to try this out and are okay with kind of doing an experiment, because that's what this is right now. This is a big experiment, and I know Teacher Tim had mentioned it, that it's still in the brainstorming idea right now. It's still kind of all in my head, trying to figure out exactly what to do. But my students will read the literature, we'll study it, but I think that being able to talk to someone from that country, or wherever the author is from that country, and just being able to explain and give some more information and learn about another country, I think is really very simply what we're trying to do. As it grows, and we kind of figure out what we can do to build it, and make it a little bit stronger and more valuable. That probably won't happen until the second semester, which is after January. But this first time, it would be really cool to do that experiment, and then those particular teachers, if they enjoy what's going on and they think it's valuable, if I could keep those and then add some more, that would be awesome for the second semester, because our school is built into two sections of the year. It's not year round, it's two semesters. So it would be all new students, and we would basically start over the class and start all over again, which would be great because we could, use this experiment and fix it, right away, and just keep building on it and keep, building those relationships, and see where it goes, as far as the
Yeah.
learning and interaction. I think right now it's more of just trying to get people to interact, to learn a little bit about someone else and someone from another country. I think that in itself is very valuable, and I think that with Webtalk and with international English and things like that, if we can use this as like, hey, look, this is what's happening. This is, we talk about, all these wonderful things that could happen. Well, here it is. This is what's happening. There are students interacting with each other. There are students talking to each other. There are people getting something. One is maybe learning a little bit of English. The other is learning some culture. Maybe the other kids are learning a little bit of culture of American culture, because maybe they have some questions they would like to ask. So these teachers need to get in touch with me as soon as they can, because we are probably, I was talking about it, we're kind of trying to push this a little bit farther away, just because it's going to take a little bit of time and choosing the right literature and stuff. But if there are teachers that or teachers that are listening and have students in the, that 14 to 16 years old range, they need to message me. I'm not being mean, but if people use Messenger to call, I'm not gonna answer. I just
Yeah.
don't have the time, and I'm not being mean. I just it doesn't work like that. It's just it's too much to answer, phone calls that are coming in. So if there is someone that is interested, if someone is a teacher that would like to connect, instead of trying to call, leave a message. Send a message either in Webtalk, or send a message in Messenger, and explain who you are and where you're from, and age group, and if you have any ideas of literature that might be important for your country, because that's what I'm really looking for. Is I don't really want to choose what people have to read. If someone from another country has something that's amazing, if they have some suggestions, and I can look at it and say, okay, I'm gonna ask my principal, and see if it works, as literature that we can use. That's what I'm looking for. It doesn't have to be a book. It could be poetry. It could be, even music. Anything that's kind of that's like that has some sort of literature value to it and shows that culture, would be incredible. But I really want it to be something that is important, not just for me, but important for those who are in whatever country that want to get involved, because I
Okay.
think it's a very unique way to show that the world who they are and what they are about.
Okay. Teacher Andy, so how do you get this idea to create something like this to connect with teachers around the world? Can you share the vision for that? How did you
Yeah,
get this
so
idea? Yeah.
um, I I I've been teaching for almost 20 years, and I think that in the years that I've always taught, there are things that I'm very passionate about when I teach. There's some, and those things that I'm passionate about, very, very often are surrounded by the idea of like historical based or something in the world that kids can connect to. And, things like, like I teach night, which is about the Holocaust, and I'm very passionate about that. And I, you know, study and learn and give that information to students. And then, things like the Vietnam War. I used to do a lot of literature based on the Vietnam War, and we looked into that culture, and looked into different things, and I've always had this feeling of if students see more of everything around them, it helps them be better people where they're at, because not everybody can leave the United States. Not everybody can leave, a foreign country and go visit whatever they want. You can't do that. But if you can bring that all together, that's always been something that I've done as a teacher. And so I was given the opportunity to, teach overseas, and I seized it. Play on words. I seized it because I wanted to go travel and see these things for myself. And the more I traveled and the more I saw the different places that I had studied and learned about, it just makes the world so much smaller, and it gives you more of a world vision. And so as I was teaching overseas, I started meeting teachers from all over the place, and I started meeting people that had that bigger vision of education. And Teacher Tim was one of those people who I think, like, he and I share a very common ideal that education. I don't think that education works just sitting in a classroom reading a book. I don't think that education works, just reading something and writing an essay. I don't believe in that. That's not my philosophy. That's not who I am as a teacher. I think that for anybody to be educated, they have to want to learn. And sometimes when I'm teaching things and teaching literature, I try to create ways for them to kind of get into it and see it from a bigger view, a world view. And so as Teacher Tim and I started talking and interacting, our ideas matched. And so, I basically told him, I said, I see what you're doing, and it's awesome. And I want to be part of that. And I want to figure out how I can do that wherever in the world I am. But right now I'm in the States, and so I'm working on that. And it's been about 3 or 4 years of like really trying to put this together. And so it's been a while. It's taken a while, and that's what things do. Like nothing happens right away. That's not life. Very, very seldom do things just happen. They have to grow. They have to be built. They have to have that desire to keep pushing and keep trying and keep trying. And we've been in contact for years, and we keep working on it, and he's been in doing this and for years, much longer than I have. And not gonna lie, I jumped on those coattails and said, hey, if he's already doing it, why not start talking to the people that he's doing stuff with and see if we can speed this process up. And instead of trying to reinvent things and reinvent, build on it. And so now we're at that point where not only do we have Webtalk, but we have teachers who are excited about teaching students. And I think as we can show, here's a format, here's a way to do it. I sent like a lesson plan to Teacher Tim and said, look, this is what I want to do. I want to start like pen pals. I want to build on this. I want people to start interacting. And it kind of went, and then it disappeared. But it didn't completely disappear. We just made it better. And so as the time has progressed, that idea, that simplistic idea of just like, oh, I'm going to send a message to someone and hopefully they message back, has been increase to, why don't we start talking face to face? Why don't we start interacting? Why don't we start interviewing? Why don't we start talking to these people and seeing them? Because of technology and how much it has grown, why can't we use this? Why can't we develop this to create the vision that we have wanted? And this is something that I've always wanted to do. I love to travel, and I want to be able to kind of bring that idea of travel into education, so that there's the two things. I'm setting up a trip for with students to go to Greece next summer. It's in my blood. I love traveling, and I want to give that to students and anybody. The idea that the world is big, but it's not that big, and there
Yes.
are ways to interact and meet each other and understand each other and learn about each other, instead of just being stuck where we are. Because I grew up in a very small town, and I never, quite honestly, I was always one of those people that I just, luckily I got to go visit some bigger places, bigger, cities, and
Okay.
states, and even kind of venture out a little bit. And it's always been a part of me to want to go and see and experience other places. And so, that's the vision here, and that's where it comes from. It's not something that we just came up with. It's not something that, oh well, we
Okay.
just found out about WebTalk, so let's act like this is, no, this is WebTalk is many apps later, many steps later, many ideas later, um, but but it's but the value of it has come at the right time. And so, with this interaction and with this building, we can start posting those videos and showing those videos to the world. Like, look, this is all you have to do. Sign up for this simple social media site, and now you're going to start seeing where everyone can interact, can learn, can watch videos and see people talking about their countries, and understand that there's more to this world than just your little town, your little city. It's everywhere,
Okay.
and
Okay.
that's the goal.
Okay. Okay. Teacher Andy, have you been teaching for 40 years ago? And nowadays, I can see many teachers and the idea that you have to connect teachers around the world and the student by giving the chance the student to learn the culture of other countries while they are staying in their country. Can you tell us a little bit about the change of the education naturally right now where we are in the 21st century? The difference between that and in the 20th century, where we spend our times in expensive classrooms learning vocabularies and tenses, and we still that we can't communicate with native English speakers. So can you tell us the way that you are, and all teachers nowadays, they focusing on teaching naturally via social media. So there is the easiest way for that. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So what I think is, being a teacher for a long period of time, education hasn't developed as quickly as technology, and as quickly as how the world works. And we are kind of built into this ideal that I got to go to school, and then I got to go to college, and I got to pay lots of money, because that's the only way I can learn. I go to class, someone teaches me, I answer questions, I throw up, the answers on the test, I turn the test in, I get graded on it, they tell me I'm great, I pass the class, I go to the next one, I graduate, I go to school, I went to a great college, so here's my degree. Okay, well now you can work for us, because You're amazing. That's been the process of education for many, many years. But as we're starting to see more and more people who work at jobs, when they interview, when they talk, they ask things like, can I work remotely? Can I work from home? Can I go on vacation but still check in and use my laptop and work? Well, companies are starting to realize that they have to do this to be successful. They have to have people that they hire people that work remotely. Well, why aren't we doing that with education? Why can't we take education and say, you can learn all this information, but you don't have to read a boring textbook to do it? Use that computer, use your phone, use your laptop, connect with people from some other country and ask them about their country. Why do you think, why do you need to read out of a book what some nationality believes is correct about that country when that person has never even been there? So why don't we learn about each other? Why don't we learn about history from someone who lives in that country? Why don't we get a different perspective? You know, like I said, for like the Vietnam War, I that is a huge thing for me. That era, that time, everything, whether it be in the States or around the world, that was the era of that time was incredible. But when I finally went to Vietnam and went and looked at their memorials, looked at their history, looked at the way they viewed it, I saw it in a completely different way than I had taught it or learned it for years. Because I was learning from one perspective. And being able to go and learn about it from a different perspective opened my mind. It made me see things a little bit differently. It made me realize, you know, that there is more to it than just what I was learning out of a book. So as education grows, we need to start understanding that our education, what are we getting out of reading a story from a book when we could be listening to someone read it who's the author? We could maybe interview that person. We could maybe connect with that person. People do things on the internet all the time, but we're just not taking advantage of it. And so kids are bored. Kids hate school. They think it's ridiculous. And I've never said that, nobody should go to college. Nobody should go to school. But I also believe that there are more than one way to learn. There's many more ways. And
Yes.
that's the idea, is to try to get to that point where I can show that. Teacher Tim, he's showing that right now. He hasn't,
Absolutely.
he doesn't have to be in a classroom to educate. And I look at that and I say that's next level. And I
Yes.
want to be part of that next level, but I have a little bit different view of how I want to do it. And so, putting minds together and trying to figure out how to do that, now starting to connect with so many other teachers and even people, like you, that say, I've never been to school, but look where I'm at. Yet there's a difference, because I guarantee it, just because you didn't go to school doesn't mean you didn't learn. See,
Yes.
that's the thing, is some people take the idea of you didn't go to school as magically 3 or 4 languages. Magically, you've got this job that you can work at, that your boss knows how good you are, that he doesn't mind you doing lives. Magically, that all this happened. No, it didn't. It didn't magically happen. You've put a lot of time and effort into educating yourself.
Absolutely right.
That's the difference.
Yes.
That's the difference. Saying saying, oh, people don't need to go to school. Well, you need to do something. And I know plenty of people that have educated themselves in their lives that did go to school, and I know plenty of people that went to college because that's how they wanted to learn. But I think that the system and the idea of education has to grow at some point, and people have to learn from other people, not just a person that stands up in the front of the room and gives you a bunch of information that you write down in a notebook and you memorize it and you put it on a piece of paper and then you forget it tomorrow because you don't need it anymore. That's where we're at
Yes.
right now with education.
Yes. Okay. So that means in next 10 years, the education is going to change in technology, where teachers will be connected with teachers from other countries. They sit there and they connect the students to give the student to interact with other students from other countries. So this is your vision. That's absolutely
Yeah.
a great vision, because as you know, if we can say today, for me, Risa, I should go back to classroom to study. So I can't be here today. So that show people that, for me, I'm interacting right now with a teacher from America, and the main thing is that the teacher can understand what I'm sharing. And if I said I have never been to school, that I am interacting with the teacher, and right now I'm here to support other teachers because of the vision that you are sharing. That make me thinking about my past, about how I learned English. I start thinking now. As you know, Jack Ma said when he graduated from school, he wanted to start to speak English. What he did, he became a free guide for 5 years. That time, in 1994 or 1992, in China, he said we can't find any book, English book in China. So he started to speak English. People ask him, how did you improve your English? So that time he said he started now thinking. The time that what those people, those tourists, what those tourists teach him, he can't learn it in books or from his parents. So this is the idea that you, teacher Andy, you share now, because you know that what the students will learn from other students, they can't find it inside the books. Because I know there is some people, before, if you don't meet me, if I told you Burkina Faso, you don't know what that means. Absolutely, you don't know, because you have never met someone who said talking or the name talking Burkina Faso. Super people stay maybe 2 weeks to start to pronounce the names. Teacher team, when I meet him, I told him I am from Burkina Faso. He said, oh, what that means? I don't know. So imagine you now, teacher team knows everything about Burkina Faso. Imagine you now, if students from Burkina Faso connecting to students from America. America is big. There's many cultures that those students, they will understood about that. So now the idea that you have and the other teachers who spend their times to share and to connect, to learn naturally. Students will learn naturally with technology, because we know that we believe, for me, Risa, I believe that in next 10 years, education will be naturally. There is a big difference. For me, as Risa, I believe on that. So you see the idea right now, what the idea of Webtalk right now. So this is also is sharing with education. Why? Because teacher is going to be supported via a social platforms. That is it. Absolutely, that is it. That's why you said the world is becoming small via technology. So technology can't grow without a human being. Absolutely,
Yep.
with the dreams of a human being, the dreams of a human being that grows technology today.
Yep.
Yeah, because of the dream that you had. This is a part of growing technology. You are looking for students, for teachers who teach. So you want to connect with them. You stay in America. Those teachers stay in Africa, and they are connecting. They communicate, interacting beautifully. Again, they
Yep.
are going to make friends. Friends. They are going to make friends. And there's organizations. There are organizations going to support them to take those teachers from Africa to travel to America to meet those teachers, to take those teachers from America to travel to meet the student in Africa, learn about culture.
Yep. Yep. That's that part of the vision is down the road a ways, but hopefully that that is faster than we think.
Yes.
Because I think that is a huge part of education right now as well. Is teachers are frustrated because they just don't make enough money to be able to do these things, and when I tell my students I've traveled here, I've traveled there, and they're like, oh, you must be so rich. No, that is not what it is. It's what do you spend your money on? Shoes, fancy clothes, fancy cars, all those things. What do you spend your money on? It's different than what I spend my money on. I like to travel. I like to go see things. I like to experience. And so, there are ways to travel that are not that expensive. But with Web Talk, there is a vision there. And if teachers and anybody, but if teachers look at that and say, hey, this is an opportunity that is given to me, that if I connect with a bunch of people around the world and they start joining me and following me, it turns into something that could possibly be a way to expand their world. Because I know personally, like my example of Vietnam, once I went there, my vision changed. Once I went there, my ideas changed. Once I went there, I can give a better education to the students because I've seen both sides, and I've seen it with my own two eyes, and I've experienced it. And I think that's what, amazing teachers would be even better if they were able to have these experiences. Because right now teachers work so hard, but they're not getting anything in return as far as monetary value to help them become better.
Yes.
And so with the idea of Web Talk and how it, how there's so many people in the world that would connect with them and help build that revenue platform, at some point you will have teachers going all over the world seeing. Are you there?
Yes. Okay. It's
Sorry, I got
okay.
a
It's
call.
okay. Someone call you. I know.
Um,
Someone call you.
yeah.
Yeah. I
So
believe that.
that's the thing is I think that teachers need to have a better vision of their lives.
Absolutely right.
I think
Yes.
that teachers always want to educate, always want to make their students better, but what are you doing as a teacher to try to enhance that? Because it's when people say that it's okay that they don't need the money because they're a teacher, that's because they have a good heart, but they
Yeah.
still need money to be successful and be able to do some things that will make them a better teacher. And this platform, Webtalk, is the perfect platform for that. This Webtalk is the perfect platform for anybody who has a vision, because you can't tell me that there are people who want to start a business. Most people will not tell you that it only costs $200 to start a business.
No one.
It
Absolutely.
costs so much more. If you want to have a franchise, it's going to cost you $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 to start a franchise, and maybe in 5 to 10 years you might start making a profit. But here's an opportunity for $200, or when that runs out, $400 a year, to build a business, to build something that you already do, that everyone does. People don't get it. They don't understand it. And I don't know why people don't get it, because everyone uses social media. That's what's so weird about the idea that that it's taking so long for the first million people to join up and spend that $200, and they say, well, I just need to do it I'm just going to do it for free. Well,
Yes.
$200 a year is not that,
It's
like, it's
nothing.
not like
It's
I'm
not that.
asking, that they're asking for $1 million or $100,000.
Yes.
If you go to 5 weeks of a tutored English class, it's going to be more than $200.
Absolutely.
And
Yes.
so
They don't
and so
know that.
people that yeah, and people that want to get involved and just learn English, even those people should look at this and say, if I'm doing this, why not spend the money here that I would spend on a tutor per year, something that you would spend on a tutor probably per week or per month, and give yourself that opportunity. I can't guarantee that it's going to be successful. I can't guarantee that, people are going to make X amount of money. I can't guarantee that. But what I can tell you is $200, you will make that back in a year if you just put your efforts into it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So yeah, it's $200, but it just takes a little bit of going out and talking to people and getting people to join and getting people to be part of your group. The money will come. That much I know. I don't know how much, but I am pretty sure that the $200 a year, it'll be covered. So basically, you're getting it for free.
Okay.
You just have to look at, and I understand that people around the world have different levels of income. I understand that. I mean, I'm a teacher. I have a family. Money isn't just like growing on a tree for me, but I also see a vision. And like I said at the beginning, this isn't a vision that started last week. This isn't a vision that started with Webtalk. This is a vision that has been growing, and now there's this site that is falling into place that says we can help people be successful as long as you just go around and tell people about our website. And specifically you prove that it doesn't take much to get on and talk to people and keep telling them over and over again how great Webtalk is, and use it, and as it grows, use the as it grows, use it more and more. Start kind of, like Tim says, like, start forcing yourself to go and use it, and kind of, make it into a habit. If you do something for 21 days, they say, if you do something for 21 days in a row, it becomes a habit. So for
Okay.
21 days, you have to force
Yeah.
yourself to do something, and the rest of the time, you're going to be doing it and not even think about it anymore. Just like you do, like I know many people wake up in the
Yes.
morning, and what do? Pick up their phone and start checking stuff. That's a habit. That's something
Okay.
that you have created in your mind to do over and over again. So why don't you turn that habit into something that can develop into revenue?
Okay, Teacher Andy, thank you very much for creating this time. Thank you very much for creating this time and
No
sharing
problem.
your idea for those teachers and around the world, not just for teachers, even for other, for everyone who's open mind and everyone who want to develop himself, who want to educate, because nowadays we should focus on education. That's what we need,
Yep.
because and the focus on education by what, by developing the technology is already. So thank you very much. So we will talk soon. I had the customers came now.
Yes.
So yeah.
Okay. So real quickly, please share this with people, with whatever group, people that are interested, teachers that are interested. Please message me. Don't call. I'm not going to answer the calls, but please message me as soon as possible. I'm trying to make this work, even if it's one or two teachers. I really want that to be a focus so that we can start showing to the world what we're building here and what the vision is for Webtalk and for International English. It's time to take that next level. I've been given the opportunity to show that in the United States, and I really wanted to be something that I could show the world, that something that I've been thinking about for years is so close to being shown to the world, that this is how we can learn, this is how we can interact, and this is how we can educate the world and get out of the classroom environments and make some money doing it.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
All right?
Thank you. Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
We will
Bye-bye.
talk soon. Thank you. Bye bye.
All right.
So that is the end. Okay. So everyone who want to be part of this, please you can send a private message to Teacher Andy or me. And again, if you want to take part of that, there is a link. You sign up for free. You are welcome. Zero money needed for that. We just want to help the education to develop naturally. See you next time.